What's going on today? We'll be going over the Solo Victory Cash Cup. This is the last three games, the three games of Session 2. I will be going over what I did right, what I did wrong, what I did good, what I did bad, per usual, so that I can improve and then hopefully you can take some key notes and improve as well. So we are just going to jump right into Game 1. Alright, so right here you see I'm boxed up, sitting pretty with basically max mats. So all that you want to do in this scenario, I do have good tags because I did get a kill, so I have good tags for Storm Surge if it was to pop, but in this case scenario it won't. But all that you're going to do here is take safe peeks if you want to. Try to make them as safe as possible because snipers are big in this method. And as you see, I'm taking safe peeks, taking shots, and then it's also good if you can get somebody lobby focused. The best way to do this is have somebody shooting at someone, and then you jump in too. So once there's two people, it's a lot more common to have somebody else jump in and somebody else, and then that's when the whole lobby's on. Especially when somebody gets cracked. So that's what you want to try to do in this case scenario, so that you can just slowly dwindle the lobby count down. So right here, it is time to rotate because I did not pull zone. So I'm going to choose the safest rotation, which in most cases is going to be where the least amount of people are. Now the bad thing about that is if you get cracked, it is very easy to get lobby focused. So if you are going to go to the dead side of zone, don't be afraid to use mats, especially hard mats, so that you're not going to get fried, you're not going to get cracked, you're not even going to get tagged. Because that's when lobby focusing starts. It can start, but even before you get cracked. But if you do get cracked, it's almost game over. But there is this guy that's right behind me. He's been hitting snipes and just going for fries. He doesn't care to get sniped or anything like that. So he's my biggest concern. Once he goes to rotate, I know I'm going to rotate. I might shoot at him a little bit to get him to build. But so yeah, we want to make sure that everybody that's by us is not going to be looking at us as we're trying to rotate, and more we're going to be looking at them. Right there, what happened is I thought that the guy that ended up killing me was going to try to get into my box at whatever it may cost them. So usually when somebody tries to cycle into your box, they end up maybe getting fried, and then you start to get your box shot at, and then you start to get lobby focused. So I wanted to try to get him out of the game as fast as possible, which is where the mistake came in. I was still basically cap mats, pretty decent heals, and sitting in a good spot next to zone. So all that I should have done is boxed up, held my wall, maybe made a couple extra boxes, used my mats, instead of just trying to go for the kill on that guy, because in this case, kills are worth absolutely nothing. So, with that to say, we're going to go right into game 2. Alright, so right here, I'm sitting on the hill that is right above Grand Glacier on the actual map. And this hill is really good because it is one of the highest spots on the Fortnite Island, and it does have a pad. So if you hit that pad with a Flowberry, you can go just about halfway across the map. And so it's a really good spot to sit in the rotating. That's why sometimes, especially in these cash cups, this is the hill that I'm going to be rotating to. So, now as you can see, the hill that I have been sitting on has pulled zone all the way up until half and half. This was absolutely nuts in the moment to just sit here and scroll through TikTok for a good 10 minutes and just pull zone every time. So now that we have it on half and half, we're just going to sit here and chill, and then we also do end up pulling it on moving. I will let the rest of this end game play out and then come back and give an update on what I think I did good and what I think I did bad. So during that end game, because I did pull so many zones on that hill, I was naturally the highest in the lobby. So from that, I was already at a good geolocation to win that game. Now, what I did wrong is I did go down for that kill and get stuck in that box. Now, if I should have died there is debatable, but that was a halfway decent play. I did need a refresh, especially to hold height, because during these end games, you should be able to tell yourself and think for a second, is this the time that I go for height? Because height in these like win-only scenarios is really good and ups your chances of winning by a lot. So you really need to think about when you want to go for height and when you don't want to go for height, and if you do think you need to go for height in the game. So in this scenario, geolocation, I had height. I thought the whole game that I needed to keep it, and then I would have a pretty good shot at winning because I did have medkits. So from that thought and that thought process, I needed a refresh. So I went for the refresh. I could get the refresh. Now I was cracked down to about 80 HP. I did have splashes, but this is what I should have done differently. Instead of panicking so much, using all the splashes, and then using all of the fizz, as I was still on high ground, I used the fizz bottle from 95 to 0. What I should have done is use the fizz bottle for maybe about 80 of it, leaving 15, so that is 3 clicks of the fizz. Once you use the fizz, you get the low grab, and so 3 should have been plenty to get myself down from high ground. And as you've seen, I had to go down from super high up in the air, and that made me lose basically all of my mats and a good positioning. What I could have done is just held the high ground for a little bit longer, let somebody else establish it and think they were good, and then just popped one fizz and jumped on them, or something of those sorts. So keeping that fizz bottle is definitely a play that you want to always have in the back of your mind, at least keeping about 10 to 15% of the fizz bottle back. Alright, so I want to go over my thought while rotating right here. As you can see, the map is a little bit like dead center of the bottom of the map. So my thought is about a half and half water to land ratio, and I kind of want to be about dead center. So for me, that is this the train station there towards the bottom of the map. So that's kind of where I want to rotate to. And my rotating path, as you'll see, was to stay away from anybody with medallions, just in case they're absolute psychopaths and want to key me, and try to get a safe, maneuverable way to zone. Alright, so that was the last game of the tournament. There towards the end, I did get whacked pretty hard. I did hit him back for about 80. And instead of just holding my pump out knowing that he was going to go for another spray into the box, I tried to go for the edit on the top, which was ultimately the end. That end game was pretty fun to play though, I will admit, and I did enjoy it. So with those three games, there were a lot of, I would say, beginner mistakes, honestly. A lot of things that like I should know just not to do, like using up all my fizz bottle when wanting to play height, not holding my pump on that guy. Just a lot of beginner mistakes that hopefully are just rust that need to be shaken off. So that was the first one of the season. There is a cluster of them around the end to the beginning of next month, or the end of this month, beginning of next month, and then FNCS will be here. I will be trying to do videos on FNCS, but if you enjoyed, leave a like and a comment on what you thought. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.